Hi, my name is Skin,
And my name is Mark, and we are one half of Skunk Anansie.
the beautiful half, and you are watching Toasted.
Finally, we are rolling. Welcome to
Are
Amsterdam.
you sure? Are you on? Are they on? Are they all on?
Checked like triple times now, so it should be on.
Yeah, no, we're happy to be here. It's nice to be here in Amsterdam, even though we've seen nothing but the inside of a hotel room. We did walk around last night. Yeah,
we had a little wander, didn't we?
Yeah, we went.
Pretty much your life, right? Sitting around in hotel rooms.
Kind of not really, to be honest. I haven't done this in a very long time. So,
Really?
yeah, but yeah, no, it's good. We walked around. We got a burger. We got dodgy Amsterdam burger. We're still alive. We're still alive.
Dodgy Amsterdam tourist burger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dodgy Amsterdam tea that smells like coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Peppermint tea that tastes like coffee, burnt coffee.
Hey, talking about coffee, you were mentioning John Coffee, Dutch band. You got in touch with them? How?
Well, no, I was just talking about who's good on social networks, and our record label mentioned John Coffey, who they're working on at the moment, saying they have a guy with them that's really good. They're really shit hot on their social media. So
Did you see that beer catching thing he did?
amazing, absolutely brilliant. So he's on the crowd,
Yeah.
you stand on the crowd, and he's doing that, and someone throws a beer at him, and he just catches it, calm as you like, drinks it, and just throws it over his shoulder. So funny.
Hey guys, 4 years since your last record, a new record out now. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, it's not kind of out now. Is it going to be out now?
January
Okay.
15th.
Yeah, thank you. It's
Singles out.
first single is out. Yeah, it came out on Friday, and that's doing nicely. Yeah, it's a very different record from us. Anarchytecture, it's called. Very different, kind of a bit of a departure from everything else we've done, I would say.
Why?
I think that Wanderluster was kind of like the Reformation album, kind of more mellow and quiet, but very, very good songs on it, especially not Charlie Big Potato, especially My Ugly Boys, one of my favorites from that album. Black Traffic was like, we're on tour and it's a bit mad and it's a bit freaky and it's like a full-on album. That was much more an album for the fans, we weren't worried about singles or anything like that. And I think this album is kind of like kind of leaving everything behind in some ways and developing a brand new sound. It's very electronic as an album, but it's still, its roots are still within rock music.
Very loud, I might add. Getting back to your roots, rocky.
I wouldn't say it was getting back to our roots. I think it was moving on from our roots, actually. I think it's like standing on all the records and then jumping off into the abyss. It's
the
more
unknown,
into
and
the
just
unknown.
saying, what do we want to do next, and have we got the balls to do it? And turns out we have.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there was never a lack of balls in this band, right? I mean, I was delving into your history, and actually, the first time somebody asked me, "Are you guys interested in doing an interview with Skunk Anansie?" Everybody was, of course, yelling and happy. And the first song that popped in my mind was "They're Selling Jesus Again," which I thought was an amazing song, but also a really in-your-face song with straight political lyrics that will really kicked ass. And so, I mean, talking about balls, you already had that when you straight from the start, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're talking artistically now, because, I mean, we still have a lot of ferocious songs on the album, especially Bullets and Beauty Is Your Curse and Sinking Feeling. But then we have a new kind of more electronic sound, which is Love Someone Else and Death to the Lovers and Victim. Those songs are kind of structurally and sound-wise kind of songs that we've not done before. It's like a new era of Skunk Anansie in many ways. And I think also with the artwork, working with this artist called No Curves.
Awesome artwork, really. Nice video online where you see him putting together the artwork. How did you get it with Tape Act? I mean, he's a tape artist, right?
Yeah, he's a tape artist and he's like a new discovery for us, and I think he's about to become a mega huge guy. I love that graffiti feel to him. We just saw one of his books, and we introduced to him by a friend of a friend, and we just really liked what he did, and it just seemed to really fit the Anarchytecture album title and the kind of whole feeling of the album. Every song is very different from one to the other, but they're like building blocks to a whole kind of complete emotion. So working with him was really cool.
If you look at the artwork without knowing what's behind it, you immediately think like, okay, this is a computer thing. So looking at the video, watching the guy putting it together with colored tape was kind of like mind-blowing.
Yeah, he's a very, very clever guy. And actually, when you see a lot of the stuff that he does, he mounts with another layer of tape on a background. So as you move around, it looks much more 3D, which we obviously couldn't do on the CD cover. But yeah, he's a very clever man.
Hey, I was, as I told you, I was looking into your history, and one thing that that struck me is that you had like this special one-off with MySpace, where you had an album put online for the first time solely on MySpace, and that made me think, like, you guys saw the whole music industry change, right? I mean, there's now a big thing going on about Adele not being on streaming music. Of course, she's probably the only artist who can still do that. What do you think of the music industry as it is now? I mean, you guys still think it's worthwhile to issue an album, right?
Do you know, I think that we've been there and we've seen all of the changes. I mean, you know, the music industry is a completely different animal than it was when we first started. I mean, my comparison is like when we were in the 90s, you know, when we signed to our label, you know, my job personally was to write the music, to record the music, and then sing the music live lots and lots and lots of times. Mm-hmm. I mean, now my role is I'm a director, one of four, for our record label, for our brand, you know, and I'm a director of our company. And we all have individual tasks and things that we have to do, you know, for our label and for our brand and for Skunk Anansie. Nobody else is going to do those things, you know. Record companies are very different animals now. They do marketing. They still do marketing really well, and they do distribution. But, you know, the whole everything else, we give them a finished, completely done product now, and we do everything ourselves. And I think that in some ways that's really good, because it's kind of like, in some ways it separates the men from the boys. You know, if you're not going to be willing to put all of that level of work into your music, if you're not going to make your own videos and work with artists to do your own album covers and make your own videos and make your own songs and demo your own music and get your own fan base together and get your social media together, you know, in some ways it's like you don't really deserve to be here, because that's what the job entails. And it's kind of, you know, all the kind of lazy people, all the people who just think they can just stand there, look pretty and sing, you know, those people aren't in the music business anymore. You know what I mean? They're not going to get signed. There's nothing's going to happen with those guys. And so in some ways, you know, there's a lot of negatives, because, you know, the internet's decimated the financial side, but it's given us a lot more freedom and power to do things on a practically no budget. You know, we can get a lot of marketing, a lot of kind of stuff done on like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter that we'd have to pay hundreds of thousands to get that same level of marketing before. So I think there are not as many pluses as there are minuses, and I think that it's really important as a band. Sorry, excuse me. I think it's really important as a band, especially if you're a new band, to completely embrace social media and to completely find new ways to make it work for you. Mm-hmm. And it's really important for bands of our age, you know, bands that have been together for 21 years, to roll with it and to learn from it and learn from what the kids are doing, and to actually make it work for us. Because we're lucky we have a huge fan base all over Europe, all over the world. But if you're not a band like us and our size, well, you know, you've got to be really imaginative and inventive and creative. And you can do that now with one computer. One of you has to have a computer. You can do so much stuff with a computer and a mobile phone. That is literally all you need to do everything you need to do as in a band.
And when I talk to, interesting you mentioned that, of course you're also a DJ. When I talk to record companies, like the classic record companies, they just complain, and I tell them, like, you know, there's, especially in Holland, there's a big dance industry, and they do everything right. They don't complain, you know. They have shitloads of viewers on their videos. I mean, Martin Garrix had like, I think, twice as much views on his video as Lady Gaga had on her last video, and he's just a guy from Harlem. His whole video cost like 2,000 euros to make, so they don't complain. You know, they know how to use the word, and they don't bet on selling CDs.
Exactly. I mean, and that is just the way forward. And it's kind of like me, you know, it's like, can you imagine the guys in the 1950s complaining about the guys in the 1970s going, man, they make their records too long, and what's going on with those pants, and all their hair's too long. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel like when people kind of complain about social media and the industry, and like, you know, they're like the guys complaining like, oh my God, your hair's too long and your pants have too many colors. You know, it's like, you know, you guys sound so fucking old. You know, get with the program, you know, and learn from people and embrace it, because you can just do so much now.
Talking about social media, I spotted you on a motorcycle, which is, I think, rather dangerous hobby to have, and playing in a band.
What do you mean?
People fall off those things all the time.
I ain't saying nothing.
No, I didn't hurt myself a couple of weeks ago at all. No, you're quite right. But I grew up on bikes. I grew up off road, and I've always loved them, and I always will. So I think yeah, within reason, as long as you're sensible, you know, you've got to have a life as well. So and we all enjoy doing.
Do you know, you're in a rock band. You're not supposed to be Mr. Safe.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're still in one piece. Let's see you in another 4 years.
Yeah,
you know what? You could be walking across the road and someone just smashes into you, and you know, you end up whatever. So you just got to live your life. You know, we're kind of, if we wanted a nice, safe life, we wouldn't have been in a rock band.
Was it tough for you guys actually to be in a rock band? Because I mean, you had your ups and downs, probably, right? You came from there, been there, been there. You've been everywhere, played everywhere. Touring is not easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a difficult life. It's not an easy life, but if you love it, that just makes everything so much easier.
And we love the music that we write as well. I think that's what,
That's
you know.
handy.
Yeah, but I mean, what was I trying to say with that? I don't know.
I don't know what you're saying, but I love the music that we like.
Yeah, I love the music that we write, and it makes it so much easier to, you know, to be together and I don't know.
Well, you know, okay, yeah, editing room floor. I mean, I think that what you're trying to say, if I put words into your mouth, is like, you know.
You can, yeah. Feel free.
Feel free. Okay.
They've left me.
Well, do you know what? For me, the definition of success is to be able to do what you love all the time, and to do it in a way that you can earn enough money so that you don't have to do a bunch of stuff that you don't love.
That's what I said.
Exactly, we're getting repetitive here. Hey, back to the album, guys. 11 tracks. That makes it suitable.
Is it 10 or 11? 10.
I found 11.
Is it 11?
Yeah.
Oh,
11,
if
yeah.
you include Suckers, yeah. Sucker.
Of course, because then that's also a song that I was about to ask you guys about. That sounds it's ready to get sampled by someone. I mean, I love that part.
I would love to. If somebody sampled that and did a track out of it, I would be so freaking happy. Yeah, do it. Do you know?
Why put it on the record? I mean, I love the beat. I mean, it made me think of Bad Brains, like the early stuff, like the Reignition beats. Loved it, and I was really waiting for the song to evolve, and then
Suckers! Nothing happens. Do you know the thing I love about that? Yeah, exactly. Everyone got Suckers. It's just Suckers is. We're always writing these killer riffs, and because we wrote that one and it sounds like old Skunk Anansie, sounds like something off the first or second album, like classic old Skunk Anansie, and so in that way it wasn't inspirational enough for us to come up with some amazing song on it, but we just loved the riff because we love old Skunk Anansie, and so it was just kind of, we put it there and we just thought, because in some ways there's a couple of bands we could mention, that's probably be their best song on the album. So we thought, we're not even going to do anything here. Just take that Suckers and sample it. Suckers! Honestly, it was just a silly moment in the studio, and I just called it that for a laugh. Makes us all laugh.
Well, this silly moment is probably a track that a lot of bands would have loved to have written. But anyway, a lot of love songs on the album.
No love songs on the album.
A lot of songs about love. Love someone else, victim, death to the lovers, without you.
None of them about love. They're all about hate.
Oh. Well, probably they're really close together, love and hate, right?
Thin line and all that. No, there are no love songs on the album. It's not a loving album at all. It's probably the opposite. I mean, I think that it's you know, there are political songs on the album. There's a couple of like naughty backroom, you know, in a nightclub kind of songs on the album. There's a couple of very emotional songs on the album, more touching, more vulnerable songs on the album. And then there's just your killer riff, your killer rock songs that just slap everyone around the face.
So you don't call them love songs, but I mean, how do you guys write music? Do you always write all the lyrics, or is it a group effort?
No, I write all the lyrics, and when I get stuck, it becomes a group effort. So when I get like on that sinking feeling was really originally special feeling. Could not wait, that special feeling, and I really liked that, and I was the only one who liked it. And everyone else hated it. So I had to sit there and, you know, we all sat there and I said, okay, give me a different word then, you know. And it's funny because the song wasn't written at that point. And so someone said sinking. I thought, and I kept coming back, and I came back to sinking feeling 3 days later, and then had an idea, and then the song was written in like 10 minutes. Once I kind of got the right chorus word in there, then the rest of the lyrics just flowed really easily.
It's amazing how one word actually changed the whole atmosphere of a song.
Yeah, exactly, because Special Feeling just had a different thing, a different vibe to it,
Totally.
and probably stopped me from writing the rest of the song. But once we did Sinking, I can't get that sinking feeling or whatever, I get that sinking feeling. The minute that was done, it's like I knew what the sinking feeling was, and so the rest of the song, the lyrics just went bum 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 bum, and then the song was done.